Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Harakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the Akim tuning to these videos. Alright, so the topic about this video is going to be about the persecution that's arising in this, what I personally believe was to be a false flag that happened. If you've been keeping up with the news, brothers have been making videos about it. I got these articles pretty much on the attack in New Jersey of these people that are connected with the so-called Black Hebrew Israelites. They went into a so-called Jewish establishment, shot it up, try to pretty much become a terrorist and kill as many people, whatever. I personally believe it's very fishy. This isn't the first time Esau has done false flags. It isn't going to be the last time he's going to do false flags. It's because that persecution is coming. In this article, I'm gonna point out because, one thing that I learned in this ministry. This isn't a ministry to like a call to arms, so that we can reclaim a part of America and we can live there and not deal with Esau's taxes or whatever. This isn't about that. This is about something way greater than that. It's about the whole world's power structures crumbling, in front of our very eyes as we preach and prophesy in the name of Yahweh Shai. And then the reestablishment of the real Hebrew Israelites, ruling the earth in righteousness. In the story, pretty much, these are two radicalized Jakes, so-called. They could have been MK Ultra. They show that in movies about like the Manchurian Candidate, the Born Identity. It's real easy to for Esau to hide these things in plain sight. Because now I'm saying these things, I sound like an insane man. But I honestly believe, Esau's got some devilish tricks up his sleeves. So in this attack, these two people in the article, it says these things like these two people, they have connections with Black Hebrew Israelites, but they don't know what camp they're in. They don't know what main camp they're subscribed to on YouTube. They don't know if it's IOIC, GMS, ICBK. All they know is this was a Jake that was radicalized by the Black Hebrew Israelites. Now, and we don't condone these things. We always preach and prophesy that it's gonna fall in our lap. We're gonna go through perilous times during Jacob's trouble, but pretty much there's going to be, like as the world would say, Lady Luck is going to be on our side. But pretty much in a spiritual sense, it's going to be, the angels are going to be protecting us as all these things are happening. So we don't have to worry about all these things, fighting, whatever, this and that, being carnal. That's being in the spirit of Esau, Edom. So I'm gonna go ahead and read, the article. I'm also gonna just play a clip of the news article too. It says, and so you have to take note too how they made this article right here. I just got off work. I was gonna make a video on this, and I didn't know what article to choose from because there's so many. But I typed in Black Hebrew Israelites and I clicked news on Google, and this is one of the first ones that popped up. It was on CNN, and the title literally just says, "Who are the Black Hebrew Israelites?" And it's just a recap of what happened over there in New Jersey. So I'm gonna go ahead and play the clip that they have here because the first part is pretty much showing the footage of them walking to the store. But then this person right here, it says pretty much how he's framing the narrative pretty much. So I'm gonna go ahead and play it. Lord's will, you can hear it as well.
It was clearly that was their target, and they intended to harm people inside there.
Officials tonight are not saying what the motive for the attack might have been. A law enforcement source with knowledge of the investigation tells CNN there was a note found in the U-Haul which contained both anti-Semitic and anti-police writing on it. Social media posts with similar sentiments have been found online, and the New York Times reports suspect David Anderson appears to have a connection to the Black Hebrew Israelite movement, which has expressed anti-Semitic sentiments. Experts say investigators are likely focusing on whether this was a hate crime and whether the two suspects acted alone.
Are there other people associated with these two who are going to continue a plot? Combine that with the fact that quite often we see copycats.
So this person is saying, Are there more people like this? Are there going to be copycats? And if you've been seeing my previous videos, I've been keeping a close eye on when Esau bugs out, like with Brett and Tarrant over there in New Zealand, which I believe that one is actually a false flag as well. But then through that it stirred up a lot of Edomites on the internet. They started pretty much typing the N-word more on the comments section, so to speak. And then out of that, you got so-called copycats. And I believe some of those copycats that I've covered in the past were actually legitimate Edomites who had the spirit of death stirred up into them just because of the actions of Brett and Tarrant, or of what he saw on his computer screen. Because he never met the dude, but he saw the news article. And this guy's pretty much, he's framing the topic that, see, other people can do the copycat, which is true. The minds of humans in today's world, 2019, year of Karagma, they're very suspectable. That's how you say. They pretty much copycat everything they see on TV. Again, I say in this ministry, we don't teach about call to arms or whatever. We teach how all this thing's going to happen through the power of preaching, not through the power of might. But then you have this news article pretty much saying, there could be copycats out there. He should be saying the same thing for white nationalists, because those indeed are copycats. So anyways, this article, it says pretty much, a man suspected of killing a police officer and 3 people at a kosher market in New Jersey, Jersey City, was linked Wednesday to the Black Hebrew Israelite movement. I'm going to be honest with you. Let's say me personally, like me in the world, I get radicalized, and I get myself some guns, and I go to an establishment and just, go guns blazing, going out like Esau. These people are going to know everything about me. They're going to know my past, life careers. They're going to know who I was in high school. They're going to get mugshots of me, whatever. And then they're going to know specifically, because of my YouTube channel and everything that I do on the weekends, that I'm of the group of GMS. And they're going to put that stigma on that specific Hebrew Israelite group. But as you can see, they can't put him on any. He's just, that's just radical Jake that believes in that, that mumbo jumbo he saw on Instagram or whatever. And that's what leads me to believe that this is actually a false flag. Because this is just some random guy that either, made up or made thoughts in his mind through MK Ultra. Alright, so it says David Anderson, 24, says appears to have a connection to the movement, and really he doesn't. I have a connection with this ministry, but this random guy, no one knows him. And it says, although the extent of his involvement remains unclear, and you got the FBI who can pretty much find out everything about you through your email, yet they don't know anything about this guy. So they have these concerns. There could be copycats out there. Well, why don't they go and talk to their camp leader? Why don't they go to where this guy was learning from? I find it hard to believe that they don't know if this guy was following Zabak or he was following, Nathaniel from IUIC. It's just what leads me to believe that this was a false flag, because they're, persecuting the Hebrew Israelites. Everything that's leading to this was persecution. I don't know if I could pull it up. So this was posted 4 days ago, because Trump recently was pretty much saying in a 45-minute speech to Israeli Americans. Let me see if I could find it. Well, I would just say, verbatim, because pretty much the gist of it was like, we need to love the Jewish people more. We need to do more for them. So you're not going to vote for the wealth tax, he continued. Even if you don't like me, some of you don't. You're going to be my biggest supporters, because you'll be out of business in about 15 minutes. He's pretty much just tooting the horn of the so-called Jews over there. I can't find specifically the the quote that I'm saying, but pretty much he was saying is like we need to love these so-called Jews more. respect them, don't question them. He said that, a few days ago. Then this event happens. So I don't believe that's a coincidence. They Esau can fool the masses of the world, the mundane, but he's not going to fool the elect. All right, so I'm just going to continue on the article. It says, this so I'll start right here. It says the law enforcement officials told the New York Times Anderson and another alleged assailant had a pipe bomb in a stolen vehicle and were killed in the attack, authorities said. Best known for their confrontational brand of street preaching in urban areas, the Black Hebrew Israelite movement has a complex history in the United States, with sects and branches splintering over theological and leadership disputes. So these demons, they've been studying us. They're saying this as if they're not privy to it, but they have some understanding to it. But I guarantee you, any member of a so-called Black Hebrew Israelite group is on Project Megiddo's list and know everything about you, and they know for a fact that we preach not to make pipe bombs. I'm gonna go ahead and pull out the precept specifically for that. This is Matthew 10:16. It says, "Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as a serpent and harmless as doves." Because if this was, the time for Yahushua to take the kingdom, he would. I'll go ahead and pull that precept up. So this is John 18:36. Says, Yahushua answered, "My kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then would my servants fight, that I should not be delivered to the Jews. But now is my kingdom not from hence." And you already know the precepts and the Apocrypha, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. That's a precept to this, because right now we're not supposed to fight. This isn't the time of fight. This is the time of preaching, being harmless as doves. So really, this person who they claim to be a so-called Black Hebrew Israelite, he's not. He's a black nationalist for sure, maybe, but he's not a Black Hebrew Israelite because he's going against the grains of the teachings of so-called Black Hebrew Israelites, namely in GMS, but the majority of them too. Like in this article, they actually got certain people, they got their, see this guy's name is Mr. Yasharallah, lamented that his community seemed to not only make headlines when, it's not exactly what I'm looking for. Ash Yasharallah says he called Mr. Anderson's actions wicked, adding that the movement's aggressive street preaching should not be conflated with call to violence. That's a very true fact. I don't know who this person is specifically, but he's speaking as if he's a member of an actual, so-called Black Hebrew Israelite ministry. Because those are the things we teach. One thing we don't teach that we're all Black Hebrew Israelites. We teach there's the spirit that beareth witness that we're Israelites. Israel is as a speckled bird. But anyways, that's besides the point. Because again, they're framing this. They're making us look like the bad guys in this. All right, so continue on this article. It says, what unites most Black Israelites, scholars say, is the belief that the blacks are the true descendants of biblical Jews. Some sects within the movements called modern Judaism an imposter religion, claiming the mantle of the religion for themselves. And we believe this to a T, because you go over there in the land of Israel and you don't see prophecy being fulfilled. Pretty much, to a mundane person, to an atheist person, you ask why we do these things. So you guys go take a trip to the land of Israel and tell us if prophecy is being fulfilled. It says the black is I'm just gonna say the Hebrew Israelite movement is comprised of some groups or members that have expressed anti-Semitic sentiments. However, the Southern Poverty Law Center does not recognize the overall movement as a hate group. So then they're framing mischief with this, because if you were to actually, be sincere, go to a camp, this is going out to any Edomites who are listening to these videos, any heathen, any people who are who don't, agree with us, just go to your local camp, be civil, and ask questions. We'll be civil with you if you're civil with us, and will tell you why they say these things, like how they express anti-Semitic sentiments, as we don't. We express let me see if I can get that one as well. So because pretty much, anti-Semitic is a made-up word. We're all Shemitic, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, including Esau, Edom. We're Shemitic. When they say that we're anti-Semitic, it's really what they should be saying is this precept right here is Romans 9:13. It says, "As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated." So we're pretty much quoting, the Heavenly Father and his hatred for the nation of Edom. Because we don't hate Shemitic people. All right, so I'm just gonna read, some of this article. It says, the Black Hebrew Israelites, what we know about the fringe group. It says a suspect in a deadly attack on a kosher market in Jersey City was connected to the Hebrew Israelites, which has been labeled a hate group. And it says the Hebrew Israelites are known for their inflammatory sidewalk ministries who employ provocations as a form of gospel preaching, a theology that says the chosen ones are black, Native Americans, and Hispanic people. One thing too, like how what happened with that one video, the most hateful video, is you can't do nothing against the truth but for the truth. Because this, ultimately, these articles, this event, whether it be a false flag or not, and I believe it's a false flag, it's leading to the fulfillment of prophecy. So, pretty much, we have to rejoice and be glad when these things happen, in the sense that prophecy is revving up. It's being fulfilled. Because that persecution is down the pipeline, and that's what they're doing with this. And also, pretty much every ear has heard of us. Because they got this down right here. So they need to stop saying black Hebrew Israelites, because they say that the chosen ones are black, Native Americans, and Hispanic people. So anyways, it says, the belief system of the Hebrew Israelites, a sect that is not associated with mainstream Judaism, varies among the dozens of groups into which the century-old theology has splintered over the years. Broadly speaking, followers reject the notion of race and instead believe that the 12 tribes of Israel defined in the Old Testament are different ethnic groups or nations, and that whites are not among them. We say the so-called white people are among the nation of Edom, but it's mainly because of the spirit that beareth witness what nation they're in. It says they mostly trade in anti-Semitism. They view Jews as imposters, and they keep saying this too. And I've been noticing this too, on social media, like on Instagram, as people are saying that those Jews are imposters. They said it here again as well. Except, over here it's spelled different. It's imposters over here. Over here it's impostors. But anyway, that's besides the point. But it's one of their sentiments that they're doing with this framing. And then right here it says, Mr. Barrick added, the group is not known for committing mass acts of violence. It doesn't have a record of violence that white supremacists have in the United States. And this is a very true statement. You got Brent and Tarrant and Ho's followers. They're violent people. Because Esau, Edom is a violent people. In the nation of Israel, the elect nation of Israel, we're not violent people because we, to the best of our abilities, follow the scriptures to a T. And I already read the precepts as to why you don't see me, gunning down stores. Alright, so I'm going to get into the precepts. So this is 2 Corinthians 2:11 says, Salakia, says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. In this framing mischief right here, being the accuser of our brethren, this being a false flag, we can't be ignorant of his devices. We could see this is smelly. We could see it's a sloppy job from a mile away. And the only reason this is being pushed out, like it's all over the news. People die every day, but this right here, this takes headline news, is because they're framing deceit and they're putting us in a bad light so that it's easier for them to shut down the camps. Because again, you can't do nothing for the truth, against the truth, but for the truth. But they want to at least ensure that when they take us off of the streets, that they look like the good guys doing it. All these things are piling up. So obviously it's a good thing that we made it illegal for them to street preach. But ultimately people are gonna realize that the only reason they're doing that is because they're trying to shut up the truth. All right, so this is Psalms 50 and 19. It says, "Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit." And this is Esau Edom. If you read the whole psalm, it's pretty much talking about Esau Edom. It says, "Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thine own mother's son." So how they say that this guy's got ties to the the Hebrew Israelite groups. They really just need to say that this is a renegade, reprobate. But ultimately this is most likely a false flag, and that's why they're framing it the way they are. Because if this was like a true thing that happened, we would condemn him for being a wicked person, just like how Yahushua condemned Judas for pretty much being the person to what's the word go against him pretty much. So this is Revelation 12 and 9. It says, "And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him." So that great dragon, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, is pretty much talking about the serpent from the garden, Cain from one of the sons of Adam, and then Esau, one of the sons of Isaac. It's Esau Edom. This is the wicked. He's been revealed to be the wicked. It says, verse 10 says, "And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, Now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power and the power of his Hamashiach, for the accuser of our brethren is cast down." So the accuser of our brethren is going to be cast down according to prophecy, because all these things they're down the pipeline. Our persecution, our discrimination, us being sent to prisons. Some of us are because of biblical prophecy. It says that some of us are going to die for the name of Yahushua. We have to be ready for that. And it says which accuse them before our Heavenly Father day and night. And they're doing this day and night, like I was showing with that Trump link. He did this 4 days ago, then bam, this happens. It's very sloppy job. So this is Revelation 2 and 10. It says, "Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer." Like I was saying, because it's prophecy, some of us are actually going to die for the name of Yahushua. But you're not supposed to fear that. If that's your lot, you're going to have the spirit to endure. Like, for instance, if you're actually of the number of the 144,000, right now we say that we're the hopeful elect. But let's say you're actually of the elect. You could pretty much get kicked out of the camp. That's not gonna take you out of being of the number of the elect. Because the members of the elect are still going to preach and prophesy the downfall of this kingdom. So if it's your lot, you're going to be saved pretty much. If it's your lot to die because of the name of Yahushua, you're going to have the spirit to deal with that, and pretty much you're going to be put on those chariots. You're going to be the first ones on them. So I'm going to read from the topic. It says, "Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prisons." So not only is he, Esau Edom's gonna, be allowed to kill some of us, he's going to be allowed to put some of us in prisons. All those concentration camps. They're going to be filled with people, and most likely they're going to be filled with men of the Lord. And it says that they may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. And all these things, they're painting the picture for us being the bad guys. Let me see if I can find, because these articles they went back and talked about the Covington Catholic High School incident in January. So pretty much Esau Edom is working tirelessly to paint us as the bad guys, so that when he pretty much puts us in prisons when he kills us. He looks like the good guy for doing it. Alright, so this is Isaiah 33:6. It says, "And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai is his treasure." So because of all these things that are coming to us, the famine of the word is right around the corner. Because they're not just going to let all these things happen. These so-called radical people, radicalize more people so that more copycats do these things. They're going to start shutting up the streets so that this word doesn't come out. That's why you got to get it while you can. Knock on his door and he shall answer. All right, so this is I pushed the wrong button. 2 Corinthians 10 verse 2. It says, "But I beseech you that I may not be bold when I am present, with that confidence wherewith I think to be bold against some, which think of us as if we walked according to the flesh. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the power to the pulling down of strongholds." And this is a cut to this reprobate. If it was a real incident and not a false flag, it's pretty much he's not a member of our ministry. And obviously he wasn't. He was just a made up person in an FBI lab. Well, so that's all the precepts I got. Hopefully this video is edifying. Just take heed to these videos. So the message is that persecution is coming. It's already here. So like with Isaiah 33:6, he's continue to endure. Because it's not that much long to endure. But we still got to endure these 10 days. As it says in Revelation 2. And then the 10 days, that's just a set number. It could be 11 days. It can be 11 months. We don't know the hour or the time when Yahushua actually returns. But we know through prophecy that these things are going to have to come to pass. So all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahushai, B'Hashem Roch HaKodesh, and Shalom Akim.